coming to Charlotte, and the '96 Olympics in Georgia. We better get used to it. Nobody's been more thrilled than Joey Popp. He's part of the News 36 team in Atlanta, and he has the story.
While they set the stage for Sunday's Super Game, growing Atlanta continues to prosper. This event means $150 million to the region, $2 million of that in sales tax alone. This convention city hasn't held back in keeping up with the times. Interstate 85 is now a 10-lane highway through town. Just as impressive is Atlanta's rapid transit system. The first leg of MARTA opened just 15 years ago. In between that time, other portions have opened across the city. A lot of growth in just 15 years. Is Charlotte's growth so destined, especially now that we're in NFL City? Comments from former Atlantans now living in Charlotte.
Charlotte is extremely vibrant. I can remember moving to Charlotte. It was a very different city 20 years ago than it is today. And we have the foundation really to build a world-class city.
We'll probably have the Super Bowl in Charlotte in, what, 5 years? And we'll be doing all this in Charlotte.
Atlanta's growth prompted more nightlife and entertainment. That may be around the corner for Charlotte. But one Final Four committee member taking in tips here sees the two cities different in a way that benefits the current Queen City.
This place is so big and so used to big conventions that they sort of get just sort of swallowed up. They come into Charlotte, the Final Four will be a tremendous event.
Well, Rick, I'm now joining you live from the Georgia Dome. You know, as the Southeast grows, Charlotte, of course, has to be in the thick of it. And, of course, it's all as a matter of a challenge for Charlotte to see if they can keep up with the growth throughout the Southeast. Atlanta, take for an example, the outer belt was built fairly quickly. Of course, a lot of Charlotte's outer belt remains on the drawing boards, as well as rapid transportation. Rick?
You were talking NFL and the comparisons. How does the other expansion city, Jacksonville, compare to Atlanta the way we do? Do they have the transportation in place?
Rick, I got to tell you, I was down at the Gator Bowl just at the end of last year. And yes, they do have the rapid transit, like I rode today, MARTA, here in Atlanta, as well as quite a bit of new construction highway work.
Okay, so we have a little bit of catching up to do. Thank you. We'll look for your reports throughout the week. Joey Popp reporting live to us from Atlanta.
He's having a good time down there, I think. Well, would you give up the comfort of your home for more than $3,000 a night?
I would. Well, up next on News 30.
Their houses for the Final Four weekend. The prices range from $700.
But a lot of people are talking about the Carolina Panthers, and Joey Popp tells us why.
Take notice, Carolina NFL fans. Your Panthers haven't been forgotten here in Atlanta this Super Bowl week. In fact, the Panthers and corporate giant Nations Bank are helping steal the early pregame show. This fancy party, sponsored by Nations Bank, attracted Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, and all for good reason. Remember, it was NCNB that helped bail out the Dallas Cowboys' financial woes a few years back. So who is the big bank's #1 man pulling for?
Yeah, the Cowboys, that team. We are absolutely pulling for the Cowboys.
Since the merger of several banks across the Sun Belt, Nations Bank's prominence has grown in Atlanta, Dallas, and Charlotte. The bank is an official sponsor for this year's Winter Olympics. Just how much will we see the name once the Panthers take to the field? What's the chances of the Carolina Stadium being named Nations Bank Stadium one of these days?
Oh, nobody's mentioned that to us. I don't think we could afford it. We'd rather have somebody that's heavy on the hip than us own that stadium. You know, Coca-Cola, somebody like that.
Well, a dispute that can be settled tonight in Atlanta. The height of the Nations Bank towers in all three cities. Here in Atlanta, we've been told that this tower is slightly higher than Charlotte's 62-story tower. But McCall says it's Dallas which has the higher of all three. From Atlanta, Joey Popp, News 36 Nightcast.
Okay, there's no sports stumper here. You're wondering. The Dallas Tower is 72 stories tall. Joey, of course, will keep us up to date on the Super Bowl and all the Panther finalia going on there this week. Will Hampton has the latest from Jim Selania coming up in a couple of minutes.
And there you have a lot more coming up on Nightcast. Just ahead, Oliver North is ready to take another case to...
Experts testify that hairs found in the van matched the victim and not lip.
But there's no surprise. This promises to be one of the most documented events of recent memory. And one of those doing the documentation, our own Joey Popp, who probably can't see the Atlanta skyline for all the satellite trucks parked in the Georgia Dome parking lot. Joey, what's shaking tonight?
Hey, Rick, hot Atlanta is cold. The temperature's dropping here. Let me tell you that you might as well call this a dress rehearsal for the bigger event happening in a couple of years here. Of course, the '96 Olympics. But for now, this event, the Super Bowl, Atlanta's getting more coverage than ever. It's an all-time high.
Whatever happens on the field.
You want to go switch to 9-way?
All of it. All of it. Especially Canadian TV.
More than 2,300 reporters, photographers, and technicians are bombarding Atlanta.
They had their last meeting with members of the media this morning. Tomorrow it'll be coaches only.
Today the action heated up. NBC Sports alone has 200 people getting ready to work Sunday's big game. All this coverage is fine and dandy for Atlanta, but what we wanted to find out, just what these sportscasters think about Charlotte and the NFL expansion.
I'm pleased for all your fans, and I look forward to the newness and a new kid on the block, and to see how you play the game. Will you emerge quickly as a power, or will it be a slow process?
What happened to Charlotte really helped Jacksonville. I mean, when I think the owners saw the reaction immediately that night in Charlotte, when they got the team, how excited the people were, how badly they wanted it, and they say, hey, you know, maybe it's the same way down in Jacksonville.
Joe Gibbs is here representing NBC, but we want to know if he plans to coach the Panthers.
I think it remains to be seen, you know, whether I'm going to talk to him or not. I think there's still got to be some decisions made before I'm going to be free to talk to him.
Of course, Joe Gibbs still under contract. Now back to Atlanta and this universal coverage. As far as what we told you yesterday, the economic impact, $150 million to this region. But let me tell you, Rick, come 96 Olympics, they're projecting the economic impact for this whole region, $5.1 billion. Yes, billion, B as in boy, for the whole region.
Wow, it's scary to think of this as a tune-up. Joey, if Atlanta is like every place else that's hosted the big game, the Super Bowl, tons of the folks who show up don't even have game tickets. So how many folks are they expecting this weekend?
Well, the Georgia Dome behind me seats 72,500, but they're expecting more than twice that, more than 150,000 people here.
All with money to spend. Thank you, Joey Popp, reporting live tonight from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, let's stay in sports. It's come to be known as Skategate. Today, Tanya Harding comes clean with what she knew about the attack on Nancy.
Kerrigan. I am embarrassed and ashamed.
With him. Rick, Jesse.
All right, thank you for the update on that.
Tonight, the world's largest Super Bowl party kicked off.
And that's where we sent News 36's Joey Popp. And Joey has details on what it was like since he was there. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Jesse, that party's still going on. It's just a few blocks away at the Atlanta Apparel Center. You know, we're just less than 3 days away from the big game inside the Georgia Dome here behind me. And players from around the league are coming in, part of the NFL Association. It's that association that's throwing this party, a lot of the proceeds going to charity. It's being called the world's largest Super Bowl party. By Sunday, more than 30,000 people are expected to come through and have a little fun with some NFL stars. Well, as Atlanta catches Super Bowl fever, it will be interesting to see how Charlotte treats its guests in a couple of months for the Final Four. So far, Atlanta appears to be doing it right. Take it from the Buffalo and Dallas fans flocking in.
You can feel the electricity in the air. Just can't wait till the game starts.
And who's going to win that game Sunday?
Oh, it's got to be Dallas. And they've been feeding them boys good over there. We went and saw them today.
I came down especially because the Bills are 8-0 in playoff games that I've attended.
Even a few players wishing they were playing in Sunday's big game are showing up. Who knows where some could end up down the road? Maybe Charlotte?
In case our contracts ever run out and we go in, we can lend instant credibility to organizations like that. So keep that in mind.
Could we see in Charlotte?
Hey, you never know.
Marcus Allen added by saying he's heard Charlotte is a beautiful city. He was also talking for San Francisco's Ronnie Lott, and of course Lott has been to Charlotte. We've reported that fact in the past year. It will be interesting, Jesse and Rick, as the Panthers pull their team together. How many veterans will pounce in?
Now, speaking of pulled together, you look pretty pulled together considering the weather.
Yeah, look at that. He's wearing gloves. Oh, boy.
What's the weather like down there?
Rick and Jesse, there's a fine mist blowing right here in front of me. It is chilly, and it has not put a damper on the festivities other than a light show that was supposed to take place tonight. And, of course, there's not much to see in this overcast.
All right, thanks. Stay warm.
Thanks, Joey.
And coming up on Nightcast, figure skater Tanya Harding talked today, but some say it was a big mistake. We'll have the story.
And experts say there's something you need to know about your anti-lock brakes.
no student got hit.
We're extremely lucky that...
Expect Atlanta is sizzling. Not only is football fever running rampant, but so is excitement about the 1996 Olympics planned for that city right down the road. News 36 reporter Joey Popp, of course, right in the thick of things outside the Georgia Dome. Joey?
Hey, Rick, you better believe it. Atlanta is hot Atlanta. And, of course, this weekend, attention is drawn to the big game inside the Georgia Dome. But this city is also getting ready for welcoming the world in '96. Right in the shadow of Atlanta Fulton County Stadium is the construction of the Olympic Stadium. Eyes from around the world will zero in on this area, beginning with opening ceremonies. 1996 will be a big year for both cities, Charlotte and Atlanta. The stadium opens here just a few months before Carolina Stadium opens for the Panthers.
There will be about 85,000 seats for opening ceremonies, and there will be over 2 million requests for tickets.
The athletes will call Georgia Tech their Olympic Village home. The facilities here will be used for training and competition. In fact, 80% of all the Olympic events will take place in central Atlanta.
Whether it's at the Olympic Stadium, whether it's in the Georgia Dome. So it's going to be a tremendous opportunity as far as getting a vibrant city behind us.
It's unbelievable. 4 years ago, this was the scene when Atlanta got word the games would come to Georgia. T-shirt sales zoomed then, but now another logo has emerged. Sales are still brisk. Speaking of business, the $5 billion economic impact will also be felt in the Carolinas.
I don't think there's any question that the entire Southeast is going to benefit greatly from the Olympic Games.
Morgan also says the big bucks follow these big spectator sporting events.
That's why we do Super Bowls. That's why we do Olympics. That's why we do Final Fours. We're going to be a very, very rich city because of sports.
Final Four, of course, the Final Four will be in Charlotte in just a couple of months. It will be here in Atlanta in the year 2002, so they're also getting ready for that. And Rick, want to be something if we can relate with having the big event, the Super Bowl, in our new stadium one of these days.
That would be fun. Thanks, Joey Popp, reporting live for us tonight from Atlanta. Now, if you can't be in Atlanta with Joey on Sunday, NBC and WCNC TV is the place to be. Pre-game show for Super Bowl XXVIII begins at 4 o'clock. Kickoff is set for 6:12. Natalie Cole sings the national anthem. Former Super Bowl MVP and New York Jet Joe Namath will have the honor of flipping the coin. And for your halftime entertainment, prep yourself for a country music festival featuring Travis Tritt, the Judds, Tanya Tucker, and Clint Black.
The Buffalo. Yeah, but somebody's got to support it. Yeah, that's right.
That's a good idea.
Who are you pulling for?
Probably Buffalo, too.
Good.
So.
Good. Okay.
Sorry.
We're probably in trouble now with a lot of people.
I know, really.
Could be a big bang for us.
Thanks a lot, Larry. Thanks for joining us this morning for News 36 AM. We're
the Weekend Edition with Kathy Miley and Larry Sprinkle.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for News 36 AM today. I'm Kathy Riley on this Saturday, January 20. What date is it? 29th. Okay, 1994. We had the wrong date up there. One more day, of course, till the Super Bowl, and we'll have a live report from outside the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. In medical news, coffee and your bones. Up in a chill us live from the Georgia Dome, where Super Bowl action is a day and a half away. Joey?
Hey, Kathy, that memorable date will be January 30th, of course. That's tomorrow right here at the Georgia Dome, home of Super Bowl XXVIII. You know, the fans are flocking in here to Atlanta. We saw quite a few last night, Buffalo fans, Dallas fans, coming into the downtown area. They went to the Billy Joel concert over here at the Omni, which is right next to the Georgia Dome. Of course, Billy Joel on his way to Charlotte today for the big concert up your way. But as far as what's happening here, a very carnival-like atmosphere. It's very exciting. Now, last night, before we left this parking lot, this area of the Georgia Dome, we actually saw some of the entertainers go into the facility for the halftime show extravaganza that promises to be a real spectacle tomorrow night. Of course, NBC's been promoting that just about as much as the big game. A lot of people involved with that as we understand it. All in all, Kathy, Atlanta has a lot to offer this weekend.
I need large, extra larges. Who's Buffalo and who's the Cowboys?
This Super Bowl fever certainly feels familiar. T-shirt and souvenir sales resemble what's happened in Charlotte and across the Carolinas ever since the Panthers were announced into the NFL. More than 150,000 visitors are coming here to enjoy the party whether they have a ticket or not.
Spent a lot of money. I've already spent a lot to come down here, so I might as well spend some more. So.
Very good. And perhaps some of that carefree flowing money will make its way up to Charlotte in a couple of months for the NCAA Final Four. Of course, a lot of folks in our area expecting that, and of course looking forward to that as far as the economic impact of what that big event will mean to our area. We hope to hook up with the Richardsons tomorrow as they come to the big game, as well as a family from Catawba County that we've met here in the last several days that are big. They are very big Dallas fans, and they will be coming to the game. They won tickets through a lottery drawing, and we hope to bring that story to you tomorrow night after the big game, as well as tonight, a fundraiser, a charity fundraiser that the Richardsons will be attending, as well as a local chef from Charlotte that's going to be making a Panthers dish, we understand. Panther claws. We'll bring that story to you tonight at 11.
Well, Joey, you're a big football fan. What team are you behind this year?
Oh, Kathy, you put me on the spot. You know, Dallas, of course, is this big favorite, but I'm pulling for the underdog. I like Buffalo. And let me see if you can, like, see this little pin here I'm wearing. This is a special pin that the media representatives have been giving. It's kind of like a credential for us to make sure that we can get in places like this parking lot to bring you this live shot as well as other things. So in addition to coveting my credential for the game, I'm coveting this.
All right, try to stay warm. Thanks a lot. Joey Popp reporting from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. And if you can't be in Atlanta tomorrow, WCNC TV is definitely the place to be. The pregame show for Super Bowl XXVIII begins at 4 o'clock. Kickoff is scheduled.
Oil changed? How will I ever get all this work done if I have to spend half my day waiting on
the Georgia Dome in Atlanta? From Joey Popp. In medical news this morning, coffee in your bones. We'll show you a report about that delicious cup of roasted beans and up in a chilly, hot Atlanta, Georgia. News 36's Joey Popp is still in front of the Georgia Dome, where he joins us live now, just a day and a half away from the big game. Joey?
Hey, Kathy, be sure and tell Larry that I think the cold front's actually coming through Georgia now. This wind's whipping through, and we left the hotel this morning about 36 degrees, and believe me, it feels a little chillier, but you're right. Things are heating up here in hot Atlanta. Fans already coming to the Georgia Dome. Behind me, the city, and right over this direction, you can see that beautiful Georgia Dome. Inside, a souvenir shop is set up, and that's where a lot of fans are coming today to buy their official Super Bowl souvenirs. All in all, Atlanta is Super Bowl fever hot.
What's that?
I need large, extra larges. Who's Buffalo and who's the Cowboys?
This Super Bowl fever certainly feels familiar. T-shirt and souvenir sales resemble what's happened in Charlotte and across the Carolinas ever since the Panthers were announced into the NFL. More than 150,000 visitors are coming here to enjoy the party, whether they have a ticket or not.
Spent a lot of money. I've already spent a lot to come down here, so I might as well spend some more. So.
Very good. Unfortunately, the wrong tape was rolled. We actually sent a new package, and what we understood, we spoke with a Barcelona journalist last night, and she is here covering the Super Bowl. And of course, Barcelona had the Olympics last year, and I asked her what she will be writing about, and she said, well, you know, it's interesting. I see so many people here excited about the Super Bowl, but not about the Olympics in '96. I told her I felt that perhaps she was off base, because we know in the Carolinas for the last 4 years, excitement has been brewing in our area, and we understand it's been very hot here in Atlanta as well, because that economic impact will be so much. And yesterday we actually talked with the Chamber of Commerce, and they reiterated that. So perhaps after this event tomorrow, the Olympics fever once again will kick back into place, and people like this Barcelona journalist will at least get a capture of that. So when she goes back home, she will write back that the people here in this country are more excited about Super Bowl than Olympics. Of course, maybe at this point in time that's true, but of course we all know everyone's excited about the Olympics for the entire Southeast in '96. Well, Kathy, tonight we're also going to have a neat presentation for you of what traditional things to do in Atlanta. That report will be on at 6 o'clock. Back to you.
Okay, we look forward to it. Thanks a lot. Joey Popp reporting live from the Georgia Dome. The National Football League says it will stay out of the controversy.
Is to fight crime. Now, those ideas came from inmates, victims, and it's more than just excitement. It's also a sneak preview of what's to come. Joey Popp is live from the hottest city in the country. Joey?
Ooh, Dave, it's a little chilly here, but 2.5 million people now call Atlanta home. And many of those will be the first to tell you, hey, look us over, there's quite a bit to do here.
It's not New York or anything, but there's a lot to do.
Like taking in underground Atlanta, a collection of shops and nightlife. One of the most unique stops is Dante's Down the Hatch. You can eat on a real ship underground. Area merchants expect to hit the jackpot this Super Bowl weekend.
Spend lots of money, yeah. So we hear they have lots of money to spend, so we're ready for them.
Another Atlanta tradition not to be missed.
You can't forget the varsity.
Hot dog. Hot dog.
Be quick to order. They move them out of here fast.
Okay, I gotta have the chili dog, no mustard, onion rings, of course, and a frosted orange.
I need a chili onion dog. I need an apple. I need a ring.
Welcome to the world's largest fast food restaurant. 2 miles of burgers and hot dogs sold daily.
I sure do appreciate it. What would a trip to Atlanta be without going to the varsity? You know, I've been coming here more than 20 years. I went to high school in Atlanta. You never know who you're going to run into, like me, an old friend today.
It is in the land of tradition, and I tell you, you were the very first person who told me about this place. It was you, Joey. About 20 years ago, I was coming to Atlanta. He said, there's a place you got to go. It's the world's largest drive-in, and I've been coming here ever since.
Well, I sure can't top Irby Walker for knowing the varsity. He's worked here just about as long as it's been open.
I've been doing this here about 40 years. Hot dog, please.
I think people purposely come to your line because they know you.
Thank you. I hope they do. I enjoy doing it.
There's also a varsity inside the Dome, and speaking of which, so many people here wanting tickets. I saw a man today, he's been out all day, Dave, with a sign across his neck saying, I'm Christian and looking for a ticket face value. I don't think he's had much luck yet. Back to you.
Speaking of which, at this point, what's the ticket going for over there?
Okay, face value tickets are $175 each, but we've heard scalping up to $1,300 today.
Why am I not surprised? Thank you, Joey. Again, Joey Popp live from Atlanta. And still to come tonight on News 36, the chase was on, but this is the aftermath. And what came before amazes even the cop. She is 17 years old. At 16, she was raped in the parking lot of 20 miles an hour. 3 counties and an off-road chase later, the driver Panthers having a super time. News 36's Joey Popp is live in Atlanta, spending the night with the rich and famous, quite literally, I might add. Joey?
Yeah, Dave, sure am. I had a chance to party with the Richardsons. In fact, being here in Atlanta tonight, yeah, it's like visiting the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Ask Robin Leach.
Their way to the championship.
This television celebrity sampled the Carolina Panthers' new dessert debuting here tonight, a dish whipped up by Charlotte's Crossroads restaurant. Well, Robin, what you're trying is the dish from Charlotte.
Well, it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's a panther claw.
Really? And the Panthers, of course, are going to pounce their way to the championship.
Robin Leach is having fun, but tells the serious side of this NFL charity drive, costing $150 a person.
They'll raise, closing in on $200,000 to stop hunger in America.
Every NFL team invited a local restaurant to sample the local cuisine. About the Panther Club.
We've had a lot of people already asking about it. I think we'll have to add it to the menu for dessert. Absolutely.
The Richardson family sure couldn't pass up this opportunity. You want to test this?
If you will do.
Hey, I promise to. This is our own Panthers dish, huh?
That's right. Fabulous.
Okay, Ashley's invited me to try this dish, and this is the Panther Claw, I understand, from Kip, Chef Kip. Here we go. Pretty good. Brothers John and Mark are here, too. John's about to get involved with the new stadium.
I'm starting from zero. I mean, I've got a lot of ground to make up with my brother, obviously. But after that, I'll be working with stadium operations. It deals with anywhere from keeping the grass cut to keeping the stadium clean.
Now, we hope to follow the actual Richardsons tomorrow here at the big game, as well as a Catawba County family from Terrell. That is Bill and his son, Troy Godbout. Troy was an all-star at Bandy's High School this year, and they're both down here to take in, and they're pulling for Dallas, I got to tell you, Dave. But you're probably thinking, am I having a lot of fun here? I am. And I got myself the official souvenir cap today, and Dave, I got to tell you, I've been looking for one, but for you, but I haven't found it yet.
Well, keep looking, Joey. Listen, the big show, as you mentioned, is coming up tomorrow. Everybody knows that. Thus far, any problems?
Apparently, Atlanta's doing it right. I was watching local news early this morning, and they're not reporting any problems. We do understand, though, unofficially, more than 100 undercover police officers at the airport looking for scalpers. I checked with an officer today, but he had no information on that.
Well, now, Joey, I got to tell you, not all apparently is well in Atlanta. Straight ahead tonight on News 36 Nightcast, I find out why the Super City is not exactly a model of Southern hospitality. And meet a man they said...
ADM, the press, has been sponsored.
Joey Popp is among them. He is live from Atlanta. Hi, Joey.
Oh, hello, David. Yes, this town is buzzing over some Cowboys. Hey, listen, we start this Super Bowl coverage with a Catawba County family here. They got tickets through the NFL lottery.
A thrill of a lifetime. Bill and his son, Troy Godbout, walked through the gates to their first Super Bowl.
Thank you. Enjoy the game. Program. Get your program right here.
Oh, this is super. This is what is the Super Bowl. Even the two $175 face value tickets couldn't keep them away. Well, that's a lot of money, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It's well worth it. The Godbouts are big Cowboys and Trojan fans. Troy was a Bandy's high standout last year. To think you're sitting here at Super Bowl 28, perhaps you could be playing in Super Bowl, what, 38 one day? Yeah, maybe.
Our Super Bowl trip starts with the Godbouts. It ends with the Carolina Panthers' first family.
Team owner Jerry Richardson and his family invited us into their private suite. All week they've been riding on cloud 9 as the NFL welcomes the Panthers.
It's still hard for me to realize that we have NFL football in the Carolinas, and for someone to have played in the NFL and have this happen, it's just a dream come true that it gives me goosebumps.
This welcome sight also gave the Richardsons chills. Even some Panthers fans were spotted at the game.
It's awful exciting to be down here and to see the enthusiasm and the economic development that comes with an NFL franchise and an event like the Super Bowl. I don't think any of us really know what to expect. We're starting to get a feel of it, but I think it's going to overwhelm everybody in the Carolinas.
And just to think, that's just a couple of years away. You know, I was asking the Richardsons, what's the possibility of us hosting the Super Bowl one of these days? Well, we know that it's going to be elsewhere through '98. But Jerry said, look out. We will get the NFL owners up here after we get the actual stadium built. And who knows, Dave, at the turn of the century, we could have our turn back in Charlotte. Now, let me show you. I still have my hat. I'm still looking for yours. As you can see, I found my shirt.
Joey, forget the hat. I want one of those sweatshirts.
This is great, isn't it?
Listen, Joey, the party is over, or is it? I mean, what's the mood around there right now?
No, let me tell you, this city, like I said, is buzzing. It's a beautiful backdrop, but I have a feeling, Dave, had the Buffalo Bills won, it would probably be louder out here.
Yeah, I think for sentimental reasons, obviously, it would have been nice. Joey, thank you very much. I know you had a busy week, but you had to have a good time tonight.
Yeah, we had. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too, Joe.